Hello, welcome to Recorder Thoughts. I'm Kenneth Sribnick, and this video expresses some of my opinions about recorder playing and music in general. Mostly I'm focused on questions I often hear from my students. My answers can be very different from opinions held by other very reputable music people. Remember, everything you read or hear on the internet is false. Years ago, I had a friend named Christine that dearly loved music, and the singer-songwriter Steve Goodman in particular. None of her favorite Goodman songs were available as sheet music. So, being a schooled musician, I wrote some of his music down on manuscript paper while listening to it. Being a decent singer, I changed the key to fit my vocal range so I could sing his songs. Right here on the floor. It's wrong! She didn't like it. I said, it's exactly what's on the record. It didn't matter. It wasn't right. By chance, a few years later, that song was playing on the radio, and I had a guitar handy, and I played along with the music. Christine immediately said, "That's it. Now you're playing it right." I was playing the song in Steve Goodman's key, not mine. Christine was crazy into music, but had always told me she had a tin ear. Listening to her sing could be painful. She told me that when she was a child, a teacher heard her sing and told her not to sing with the class, to mouth the words along with the class when they performed for the parents. Criticized and stigmatized for the rest of her life, Christine never sang. On that Steve Goodman night, we explored other music and found repeatedly that for Christine, the first time she heard music, or a pitch for that matter, she held on to it. If it had a name like a song title or a letter name like B flat, she held on to that name. And the next day, when I asked her what note I was playing while playing a B flat, she got it right. For every note, we had given a name. And she did that a week later and a month later. Christine, we discovered, had perfect pitch. We worked a little bit on singing, but somehow the damage had been done. She was in her late 30s, or maybe it was still the stigma, but while I could get her to match the pitch singing a note that I played, it wasn't the sound of a singing voice. Now that the gate was open, she wanted more from her music. We ruled out singing or learning the guitar, but my recorder caught her attention. It makes sense to me knowing that voice flute is part of the recorder world. We went up to New York's Music District, then off of Times Square to a store called Terminal Music, which had long been the recorder store in New York City. I had only dreamed of one day affording a Merck ebony recorder. That day, Christine bought, without knowing how to play it, an ebony soprano Merck right on the spot. I was so jealous. My help in her method book was soon too slow, and she ate the ink right off the pages. Maybe 8 months into her studies, she heard me on tenor, and you guessed it, She went up to Terminal and bought a brand new Merc Ebony tenor. It didn't take long for her to buy a Merc Ebony Sopranino because it was so cute. It didn't matter that it was an F. Now she knew what F was. She knew she could play her C fingerings and be in a relative key. Ultimately, she filled out the choir with an ebony alto, which she also loved the sound and range of. I hate the word perfect in perfect pitch. I like absolute pitch, but I'm not going to spit into the wind. Over the years, I've encountered a number of people like Christine, painfully hurt by a teacher undertrained in music and unleashed on children. Some of my recovering perfect pitch students have learned guitar, recorder, or learned enough to seek out lessons on other instruments like piano. Just about every musician I've known with perfect pitch didn't feel that it was much of an asset, if not even an occasional pain. The music industry has set our current concert A at 440 vibrations of the air per second, and we have electronic tuners for our instruments that keep us in tune. This wasn't the case, by the way, in the 1950s. If you have perfect pitch and listen to an oldies station on the radio, you'll hear some very bad out-of-tune sound. The music can be far from being in tune with other music around you. If you haven't been exposed and educated to Renaissance pitch, that can initially be very weird of a sound till you're told what's going on. Renaissance A is not our concert A or A flat for that matter. It's in between. People with perfect pitch are often looked up to as musicians. There are companies selling lessons to develop perfect pitch for people. Do you need it? Definitely not. Remember, musicianship is the beauty of our individual notes in how you initiate, sustain, and close them, and how you connect them and then phrase those connections. The beauty of music isn't in the pitch being absolute in any way. You do need to know that there's a course of study in music called ear training. It likely has other names around the world. It involves a number of musical skills. The distance in sound of going from one note to another is called an interval. In ear training, you learn to sing the intervals of and within the scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I know of two systems of ear training. In the United States, do is commonly the tonic of the note of the key you're in. You see one sharp in the key signature, you know you're in the key of G. The tonic do is then the written note G. In some other countries, they teach a fixed do, which is always the same note, C. Now I'm oversimplifying. Because I'm a movable do musician, a G scale might be sung by a fixed do person, something close to sol, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, so. Understanding that I don't have the knowledge and skills to sing it the exact way a fixed do musician would. They have other names for all the notes a fixed dose system creates and requires. In school, fixed dose students never bothered me, but sometimes we movable dough people seem to drive the fixed dough people crazy. We seem to them to be very loose in our ear training. Training your ear, you learn to sing the intervals. Do, re, do, mi, do, fa, do, so, do, la, do, ti, do, do. And you learn to sing individual intervals. In the beginning, using the sound of songs you know as a helper. A sixth is do to la, and I learned from the tune My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean, my Bonnie lies, do la, and before I could bring it up instantly, I always used the song to help me make the sound of a sixth in my ear training class. The goal is for you to be able to sing any interval in a piece of music in front of you. The other side of this training is for you to hear music and write down the notes you hear. That's called transcription. What I did writing down Steve Goodman's music for Christine, transcription. It's a wonderful skill. Now, everyone wants to know how Beethoven could have written so much music after going deaf. Now you know how he did it. His ear was deaf, not his brain. That little inner mental voice that we all have, we can hear the interval of a sixth. No, you can hear the interval of a sixth in your mind right now. See? Video may not be the way to learn ear training. I'm not sure. But right now you can improve your ear by playing a note and then singing it. Here's a B. Ah. Sorry, I've got an old man's voice. If you want to take it a step further, learn to sing without sliding into the note. Learn to imagine and hear the note before you sing it, and don't slide. That will improve everything about your music. So, if you thought someone who has perfect pitch is a better musician or player, now you know differently. Change your opinion. Please consider subscribing to this channel and/or giving me a thumbs up on this video. The numbers are what YouTube goes by deciding which channels to promote to show other people. And thank you for your music. The world really needs more music.